Hello, this is Dr. Dave Maslach talking to you about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3. And in this particular video, I'm going to show you the results of 330 days of YouTube videos, of YouTubing actually every single day for those 330 days. This is part of a experiment that I'm doing. I'm trying to do an entire year of YouTube videos every single day to see what's going to happen to the traffic that I get to reciprocity.com. So if you don't know me, I'm actually a professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship, and I created a really cool website that I thought would be useful for a lot of different people. Now, it is a software as a service. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically a software as a service is a website that has all of the sort of inner workings on the website. You don't have to worry about anything, download anything like that. So it is a web application that is easy to get to. And I actually hired developers to build this thing. I got some contract developers. They built it, and then I have hired another team after that because that team wasn't meeting the same standards that I was expecting. So I hired another team, and they've been working on this software as a service. It's a sharing economy proofreading website that I think is really cool. So what you do is you actually go onto the particular website and you upload your document, and it sends it out to somebody else that is willing to do the proofreading. It's anybody on the web, and they could do that for free and earn credits for that. Or eventually, once they get good enough, the system sort of learns how good they are, then they can start converting those credits to money. And I was really excited about this, and I thought this was going to be a great idea. And I put it out on the web, and I got crickets. And I waited for a few months, and I waited for a few months, and I waited for about 6 months. I'm like, this is not doing anything. So I decided to actually start YouTube videoing, and I started doing these sort of YouTube vlogs. And I started doing them intermittently every couple of days. And then I realized I wasn't even getting traction on the YouTube blogs. So what I started to do is put out videos every single day after that, starting in June, the end of June of 2017. And I've been starting to get some pretty good traffic now and pretty good progress. So the last couple of months since January, so it is now May 26th. So since January, I've been getting anywhere between 20% and 30% it's growth on the YouTube channel every single month, which is spectacular. If any of you know about returns, or if you studied business or anything like that, 20 to 30% return, 30% growth is actually phenomenal per month. That's going to lead to spectacular growth in the long run. It just took a long time to get there, and I think people are actually they're actually finding this useful. So what has the YouTube videos have evolved towards actually, they're geared towards writers, they're geared towards people that are editing. But because I'm a professor, and the whole goal was to help out graduate students with this particular website, it's gravitating towards, and I'm getting a lot more traction to helping out PhD students and graduate students, particularly those that are interested in going into business administration and people that are interested in going into business administration. It is also, I do put out, because I teach strategy and innovation and entrepreneurship, I do put out videos that are geared towards people that are interested in going into business and thinking about innovation as well. So I put those out every Thursday, and every Saturday are geared towards that. So every Monday, I talk about things that are interested to writers. Tuesday, it's just kind of whatever I think is interesting. Wednesday, I talk about things that are interesting in science. Thursday, it's all about innovation. Friday, it's all geared towards, it's my thesis help series. It's all geared towards graduate students. Saturday, it's all geared towards small business and business owners in general, and talking about things that are relevant in terms of strategy for business owners. And Sunday, it's just whatever I feel like it, and trying to find things that sort of match the audience as much as I can. So I'm going to get into what has happened with these, what's happened on the traffic, both on my YouTube site and on the on reciprocity as well. I'll show you some of that, sort of a sneak peek of what's going on there. So you can see here, so from the past month, I've had 21% growth in YouTube views or YouTube watch time, which is actually pretty darn good if you look at this. So you can see this is from this month compared to the previous month. There is a steady growth going forward. And that's what I'm interested in seeing, is this steady growth going forward. If you look at the views, there's about 10% growth in views, which is pretty good. And you can see that it is growing consistently over time. And that's what we're hoping to get. It's slow and steady, but that's what I'm looking to get, and that's exactly what I'm trying to. That's actually good, as long as there's continuous growth going forward. That tells you, and it tells me, that there's nothing shady going on. As soon as you see that there's a large jump in growth, I'm going to show you the annual growth right now. Excuse me. So as soon as you see the a steady growth pattern like this, that means that there's nothing shady going on at all. There's continuous growth. I actually figured out SEO a little bit better right here, and I started targeting things a little bit more, and I can get into that in the future if anybody's interested in why there's a slight increase. But in general, this is a steady increase, steady sort of growth over time that tells you absolutely nothing shady going on. And I can get into the traffic sources in one moment if you want to see that, and you can clearly see that there's nothing sort of shady going on. Views, it is. So what happened here? Why there was this break is I was paying for views up, and I was paying about $10 a day, and I just gave up because I thought that they were ineffective. So the last day I tried to turn them back on there, so there might be another jump up, and I'm just seeing if anything's going to happen with growth going forward. I might just have a video for a couple of days, pay for that, and see if there's going to be an increase in the viewers, and if so, then I could sort of show that there is something that's effective. But here it wasn't really effective. You can see it didn't really change anything, and I could show you that. You can really clearly see it when you go into traffic sources. It's going to take a little bit of time to load here. And you could see, so this is the search traffic. So you can see that there is absolute steady growth in search traffic over time. This is really positive. This means that there's nothing shady going on. If there was a large jump, I would be doubtful at this moment that there is, that there wasn't something going on. Generally, this means that this is slow and steady growth. YouTube is liking what I'm putting out, and it's getting more views, and that's exactly what you want. This is also recommended views, and you can see slow and steady growth as well. And that's really what you want if you see any sort of jumps. That there's probably something going on behind the scenes that you should be aware of. But the slow and steady growth is perfect. That's what I'm hoping to get, and it is making a difference, right? And that's really what you want in the long run. So I'm going to turn to the traffic that's going on in the website, and I stopped it right here because remember I was paying for it. So this is in October. Before that, I was paying for a little bit of traffic, so the results are not necessarily consistent. So I didn't want to show you that. This is without any paying for any sort of traffic. You can see that the users are increasing. And there was a little bit of a change here. The developers, I actually hired the new development team in end of December, so they've been helping out. I've been paying to get some bugs fixed and things like that, and you can see that it's sort of affected traffic right here in the average session duration. I can go into, so this is users. We're getting pretty good growth, right? So this per week, so 50 users at the beginning. Now I'm getting more along the lines of 70 users, and that's fine. That means that there's growth going on and people are looking at it. Sessions has been growing per users, and that's positive, right? This is really consistent. 64, and now we're getting up to 150 sessions per user. That's fantastic. The sessions overall been growing consistently. So a session is the number of times that people are actually going onto your website, right? And sessions per user, again, they have been growing consistently over time. That is positive. And as well as the bounce rate has been falling consistently over time. And that's what you expect to see. And so again, so the developer is starting to do some things here, and there were some changes to the internal algorithm that we have in terms of email communication and stuff like that. So you could see it's actually been decreasing over time, and that's fantastic. And that's what you expect to see. Is gradual, very, very gradual growth and changes over time. Any sort of jumps or anything like that either means that there's something that's people are paying for it, or that there's something going on behind the scenes that you're just unaware of. So I wanted to tell you that this is really a journey, and a couple of things that I've learned with YouTube doing the vlogging thing every single day. It is a journey, and it's extremely tough to do this every single day. But you do learn a lot about yourself. You learn about a lot of really interesting things in terms of what you can do going forward. And, if you're doing anything like this, or if you're thinking of doing anything like this, just know it just takes a lot of time, and just be consistent and keep doing it. There's nothing magic. There's nothing going to be, YouTube's not going to turn anything on magically, or, Google's not going to turn anything on once you meet a certain sort of point or anything like that. You just have consistent growth going forward, and that is total normal, sort of predictable growth, and that's really what it's all about. And that's all I wanted to talk about in this particular video. I wanted to show you these results just to show you that things are consistent, they're moving in the right direction. One thing I wanted to show you or tell you about is I do have a blog that I started posting some of this stuff in and writing this in, and eventually I really want to get a writer to start adding some material. And so you can look for that blog, just go search for it, and it's the Reciprocity blog, so the E is written with a 3, and that would be awesome. So that's all I wanted to talk about. Take care and have a wonderful day. All right, bye.